We are pondering the question about whether God has rejected his people of Israel, and that Paul says emphatically, no, never, ever, no way. And he gives now reasons for that. And I said it's three reasons. The one was that he himself said, I'm an Israelite. The second was scriptural reason that God says, no, there are 7,000 in Israel who are faithful. And Paul says it is the same in our time. And last time then I emphasized that all of God's dealing with Israel is grace. And this is not rejected by our Christian emphasis on yes, but they have to. And they must. Now the third reason that Paul is given, and that is the foundation of his absolute certainty that God has not rejected his chosen people, is a mystery. It is a theological, how shall I say, it is something that is very difficult to understand. And we will approach now in this sequence of video series this mystery. Maybe I just read to you what is written in Romans 11. Paul writes, what then? What Israel was seeking, it failed to obtain. The elect, however, obtained it, but the rest were hardened. As it is written, the one true God has given them a spirit of deep sleep, eyes to non-seeing, and ears for not hearing, down to this very day. Please check what I'm translating for you. I know it sounds a little bit non-English. Maybe I'm trying to keep here very closely to the original Greek text. Now Paul says or writes, and David says, let their table become a snare and a trap, a stumbling block and a retribution for them. Let their eyes be darkened so they cannot see, and bend their backs forever. If I start with this table that is mentioned, I would like to pull into your imagination the Shabbat table. If we're approaching Shabbat here, every family gathers around this table, and it's very, very difficult to explain the Shabbat table to the people to non-Israelites, to non-Jews. If they ask me how can we come and live that with you, and I invite guests for Shabbat, it's not anymore the same if we sit there, just we as a family, and celebrate the beginning of Shabbat. I sometimes tell people, imagine Christmas Eve. And if you're German or if you come from a European background and Christmas starts with Christmas Eve, it's something very, very special. And you're being together as a family. It's this cozy, homely atmosphere, and it is filled with a spiritual message. And just take all the non so spiritual things out, the commercialism or whatever, and then you have a taste of Shabbat. And we have that once a year. The Jewish people has it every evening. It is something very intimate. Or if I could take you back when God calls Abram with this first command and tells him, Lech lecha, come, go with me. I tried to explain to you at that time when we looked at Abraham, I tried to explain to you that it is a call like a bridegroom calls a bride. Something very intimate. Something where if my children are going to marry and I want to know everything and I want to be there in their wedding room or whatever, in their bedroom, see what, I will destroy it. And I have to know that I have to step back as father-in-law and let them be a couple. We have to understand this. I have here another example I want to just remind you of, and that is Joseph, the son of Jacob. He is an image, a prophetic image of Messiah. And we long that Joseph will reveal himself to his brothers and say, I'm Joseph, your brother. We want Jesus, Yeshua. Tell his Jewish people, I am Yeshua, your brother. But you know what Joseph did before he revealed himself to his brothers? He sent all his confidants, all the people who helped him, he sent them all out. And there's something very, very intimate, a very intimate sphere between God and Israel that we cannot enter or see or understand without destroying it. We have to see this as Gentile believers, and we have to accept it. We will never enter it. And what Paul is doing here in chapter 11, he is opening us a gap, a little, to give us a glimpse of this intimate sphere. We have to understand that. So we have to go very careful into that. It is something, whenever I teach it, whenever I touch it, I'm in a way trembling because I know, think of the young couple. You can wish them happiness, but if you want to see everything, what they're doing, you will destroy it. It will not be the same. You cannot perform that. And there is something in the intimate sphere between the God of Israel and the people of Israel that we will never understand and never see and never be able to describe from the outside. We have to accept that.